And welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Max Power. I'm filming this one on my own again, so we're going to try to do a good job. We're making lasagna, and it's pretty easy to make lasagna. Don't go by the Stofers. Cook it yourself, because really, honestly, this is about the most easiest thing to make. You're going to need some whole milk ricotta cheese. You're going to need an onion, an egg, a couple cloves of garlic. This is my leftover ham or pork from the Wellington. Half of what I had left, and also some frozen meat. We got my pans preheated, and I've also got boiling water getting ready to go so I can cook my lasagna. It's actually 2:20 in the afternoon when I'm doing this, because I'm actually not going to finish making it. We are going to put it all together, cook down the ingredients, build the lasagna, and then let it sit until it's time to actually cook it. It gives time for the noodles and the sauce and all the little flavors to work together. You're also going to need some basil, oregano, and whatever sauce is on sale for the week. In this case, I've got Borelli Tuscan herb, along with the Borelli lasagna noodles. So let's go ahead and get some lasagna noodles going first. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's just do 9 for good luck, shall we? And I'm actually going to break my lasagna in half because it will not fit into my pot. And add a little bit of olive oil to the water. Some people say not to do that. Personally, I do. We're going to also go ahead, and pan's getting pretty hot. Let's go ahead and make up our meat with our onion. If you don't like big onions, you might want to continue chopping and dicing. I prefer to like a nice flavor of it. We'll go ahead and get our garlic crushed up. And this all depends on taste. Now that we've got this cut up, we're going to go ahead and put some of our olive oil into our pan. And we're going to sweat our vegetables for a few minutes. And now we're going to go ahead and add our meat. A little of the oregano. And a little bit of my basil. Oops. Next segment, making. You're going to need your stainless steel bowl, an egg, and the ricotta cheese. Open up the ricotta, add an egg, use your slotted spoon to mix it all up. Delicious. We're also going to go ahead and add a little bit of romaine on Parmesan cheese. A little. And now just set that off to the side. Once the pasta is done cooking, you'll need a glass bowl or pan. Glass is easier to clean. And go ahead and cut up some of our meat now to start to get the frozen out of it. Go ahead and give it a little bit more heat. And we'll go ahead and stir our pasta. Depending on how you like your noodles, if you want a little al dente, don't forget it's going to cook a little bit more while it's in the oven. Use about 11 minutes for pasta. We'll take some Cabernet Sauvignon. We're going to pour it in here with our meat. And there's not enough to worry about, so we're just going to put the rest. And we're just going to let that cook down with the hamburger, the pork, the onions, and a little bit of that garlic. The nice little pieces crunched up into the pan. We're also going to need either 2 cups mozzarella cheese or a 6 cheese Italian blend. Thick, thin, fancy shredded, any which way that you like it. Our noodles are just about done. I'm going to go ahead and put those through the strainer. I'm going to put cold water into the pot. And immediately put the noodles back in. This actually helps stop the cooking process. It's going to take a few more minutes for the meat to cook down, and then I'll show you the next process. We'll be right back. I went ahead and put the cheese mixture up because this process actually takes a few extra minutes than I thought it did. Once we've got our meat cooked down, we can go ahead and add our tomato sauce, and we're going to reduce the heat down to low. I'm going to go ahead and give it a good stir. It's going to help cool the pan down rather quickly. Now we have it down on low. We want to kind of get our onions to kind of conceal at this point. And go to about number 3. Put a top on it. It's going to sit for about 10 minutes. It's going to generate some moisture, and it's also going to help cook down some of the sauce. And then we're going to go ahead and put it in the pan, and then we're going to show you how we put it in the fridge and wait until later when it's time to cook. So we'll be right back. During the 10-15 minutes it takes to cook the sauce down a little bit, we do want to stir it up. Also make sure that it's not too hot on the bottom. You can usually tell sticking your finger in it. Not too bad. go ahead and increase the heat a little bit up to about 5. And just leave the pot off, the top off the side a little bit. This will now help moisture to come out, and you can also listen if it starts to boil over. And I think I'm going to go ahead and leave the top off for a little bit at this point. So now that we've got some heat on the meat and the sauce, we're going to go ahead and reduce the heat a little bit, and we should be just about ready to go ahead and start the rest of it. We'll go ahead and get the ricotta cheese and egg mixture out of the refrigerator, and we're going to go ahead and put everything together. First, we want a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of our pan. We'll go ahead and take our sheets of pasta and make a small layer on the bottom. Take a nice slop of the cheese mix and give it a good smear around it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure you get some that's going to melt down a little bit. Go ahead and put some layers of sauce and meat. Spread that around nicely as well. Add a little bit of our cheese. And repeat with some more pasta. And you're going to get pieces that break apart. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. Another set of cheese. Some more sauce. And again, some more noodles. Last little bit of cheese. Whoops. And the last little bit of sauce. Add a layer of cheese over the top of it. And there's your pre-cooked lasagna. You can go ahead and cook it now at 450 degrees for about 45 minutes. Or we can actually go ahead and put it into the refrigerator, which is what I'm going to do. Let it sit. It's now 249. Same process. 350 degrees for 45 minutes, maybe an hour since it's going to be in the refrigerator. We'll be back when it's time to cook it. So I made a mistake a little bit ago and said 450 and 350, and we're going to just go in the center and say 375 degrees. We got the lasagna ready to go. So that you don't make a big mess, put a cookie sheet in the bottom. Go ahead and put the lasagna up on top. Which I Try to get it center. I'm going to go for about 45 minutes to an hour. When it starts bubbling up and bubbling over, it's pretty much ready to go. So it's just been about an hour, and we're ready to go ahead and take it out. And we're going to go ahead and let it sit up. Hey, surprisingly enough, it didn't make a mess. And there's our homemade lasagna. So let that sit out for about 10 minutes. Let the cheese start to recongeal a little bit. Go ahead and serve it with a nice salad. Maybe some nice garlic bread on the side. And perhaps a nice glass of red wine. So from there, just keep having fun in the kitchen. Till our next episode.